Undertale is one of the most popular indie games of the 2010s, with it launching Toby Fox in the stratosphere of game development celebrity status, but also cementing these iconic characters in the hearts of many across the world. Sans, Papyrus, Undyne, Metaton. These characters are so damn popular in pop culture, it's kind of insane. Sans was literally in Smash Brothers. When you have characters in a game this iconic, you know people are going to try and rip you off. Bootleg merchandise, messed up looking plushies, slop YouTube videos. But the most interesting of them all, rip off mobile games. So I decided to go onto the iOS App Store and download a bunch of these games to give them a try, and oh boy, they got interesting. By the way, this is my first impressions of the game only. Please do not harass any developer in this video. Love you, bye. Let's start off with something tame. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Bad Times Simulator, a website that lets you practice the Sans boss fight, being able to do specific moves, or do it without the cutscenes. Well, this is like that but for the Photoshop Flowey fight on mobile. Thing about this is that it's on mobile, and if you ever played a game that wasn't designed for mobile or mobile, you're probably used to two friends getting in the way of you seeing things. I don't mind playing games like this, like Sonic the Hedgehog or hell, even Hades on mobile. For a bullet hell, this is really annoying. It's just the original fight from Undertale ported over, which is really weird and probably against the law. Like, surely this is breaching some copyright law. On top of this being just a straight port of a Flowey boss fight, it also has ads that you can pay to remove. This genuinely just feels illegal and probably is illegal. Anyway, other than that, it's just the Photoshop Flowey fight on mobile. Great. Alright, let's get on to the real weird stuff. What you really came to see. This one's called Piano Video Game Music Songs. It's just like Undertale, you know, it has the souls and bones on the app icon. You know it's a good start when the first thing you see on the app opening is a drawing ad. There's a wide selection of songs I can choose for free, but not many are Undertale related. Let's try To the Bone, I guess. The notes sound really jittery and disconnect from each other, and this part where you hold down the button to place multiple chords feels really off. I mean, I guess it sounds like it. Wait, why is that background Christmas related? The opening music was Christmas too. I'm gonna assume this is just a stolen app template that's now been loaded up with FNAF, Undertale, and Friday Night Funkin' songs. Finishing that song, I got an ad and it played Determination. Whoa, that's from Undertale. I decided to play Stronger Than You, and at this point the game started to kill me mentally. When you press down on the note, it just feels so awkward, and this entire game and experience just feels so clunky and awful. This app is just so badly made. Next one up is a puzzle game called Patience. One of the most iconic scenes from Undertale is this part with Papyrus, where one of his puzzles is this multicolored tile grid, a puzzle which is brought back later in a sequence with Metaton. Patience is like if that was its entire separate puzzle game, which is a really cool concept. The puzzle itself from Undertale is a pretty good idea, so applying this to a puzzle game seems like a genius move. Nearly every part of the puzzle is translated one-to-one from Undertale, electricity, flavors, but not the monster squares. I actually think that Patience's biggest flaw is the fact that it ties itself so heavily to Undertale and doesn't create its own identity. Like, listen to this music. It just feels sad. I think if the elements were more standard in the game and nothing to do with Undertale, this would actually be a pretty successful game, and yeah, it's still a genius concept. Now onto one of the most interesting ones so far. This one's called Can You Escape Fate? A Zodiac Story, and definitely has the most inspiration from Undertale out of all the games so far, with it being a story-based game. From what I've gathered from all the dialogue I skipped because it was so fucking boring, you were on the border of 2016 going into 2017, with only people with souls being able to go to different years. And this monkey Halsey, who is the year of the monkey, is talking to you about going into 2017. But you don't want to go into 2017, you want to go back to 2016 to find your missing brother. Halsey then gets pissed? I don't know. Halsey wants to kill you for some reason, not like in a calm way, like a joke. He's really angry for some reason. Souls have been going missing in 2016, so Halsey is going to take your soul so you can go back, which is contradictory to what he just said less than a second ago. So Halsey, who's still mad at you for some reason, extracts your soul and sends you back to 2016, a desolate area. You talk to the spirit and look around and find a statue of a gorilla that looks familiar. They put Harambe into this game? Anyway, the spirit version of Flowey tries killing you in a battle that takes way too long, and I got bored. This game has really bad writing, really bad mechanics, and the art just, in my opinion, does not look good. I can commend it for trying to have its own story and do something different, but the execution is just not that good. There's a sequel, but do you really think I wanted to play the sequel? Moving on. Something I found out about this game while trying to grab the screenshot for this part of the video is that the game is actually pretty beloved. I went on the itch.io page and found many of the reviews were actually extremely positive and people love this game, but to me it just kind of felt like a bad story game. I don't know if I'm missing out on something here or the game really does get good after the time I played, so I guess leave a comment if you did actually like this game and maybe I'll get around to playing it in the next video. Alright, I've got 2 quiz apps here. In the first one, it seems I can finally find out which UT I am. It asks me a series of questions related to Undertale and shows me an ad every few questions. Awesome, cool. Alright, I'm finally at the end. Who am I? Okay, this next one is called Character Quiz. This is definitely one of the worst experiences I've had in my entire life. You get these nonsensical questions of pictures from the entire characters with a multiple chance answer, normally with them being repeated so you can very easily tell what the answer is. Like what? I'll show you one. Who is this? You know, from Undertale, this character. Who is this? Well, this is clearly Snowden's shopkeeper, right? Like, you see that. What? All of these questions are like this. On top of all this, the share button is so close to the next question button, now I've got 50 Facebook tabs open. Do you think my family wants to see this? And much like all of these games, this quiz is caked with ads. Shut up, man, I worked hard for my Robux. Next game. This game is called Beat Saber for mobile, FNAF Undertale Bendy, Super Mario Zelda, or as I'll be calling it, ball game for short. Not to be confused with the actual good ball game though. Ball game is a rhythm game where you move this ball through the different colours in time to a song. These songs have no rhyme or reason for being here. You have his theme from Undertale, that makes sense, but it's also got counting stars, and I have no clue how that has any relation to any of the games in the title. The gameplay is really basic and monotonous, and gives absolutely zero stimulation whatsoever. I completed his theme from Undertale, then moved on to a classic FNAF Undertale Bendy Super Mario Zelda song, Revenge by Captain Sparkles. That's pretty much it for this game, there's nothing to this. Final game that I'll be covering in this video is the all-time classic Sans Fight vs Undertale. You remember this game, right? It's got such a cast of memorable characters. Sans Undertale with a fish and pirate hook named Boyfriend, Foxy from FNAF, this box guy, and a bunch of random characters that have no design whatsoever. Starting the game, it's a ragdoll beating game where you drag around and hope you win. It's so brain-rotting, I do not know what I can say about this game besides I played it for the most amount of time out of any of these games. It's so monotonous, the gameplay is repeated, you just move your finger around in circles, hoping that you win the battle. It's definitely an asset flip, it's so incredibly low quality, I have no idea why I wasted my time playing this garbage game. I think the worst part about all these rip-off games is that you can actually play Undertale on your phone. There's a mod on GameJoy that lets you play the actual Undertale game on mobile, even on iOS, which all of these games and videos are on, so what's the point of even playing these brain-rotted shit games? I can't say too many negative things about this though, because I know when I was a kid, I did this to Minecraft, I did this to Mario. It's just these games that attract children. Overall, this was a fun little rabbit hole to go down. If you guys want me to, I can do a part 2 covering games I find in the Google Play Store, so leave a comment if you want to see that. Thanks for watching, subscribe, check out my other videos, and have a nice day.